Welcome back to Regulate. We are on day 14 of our 31-day movement journey. So we are going to go ahead and get started today. If you are ready to jump right into our movement session, go ahead and have a seat on your mat. If you are on a bed, that is also okay. You can move the fleshy parts of the butt out of the way so that you can root your sits bones down. And we're going to go ahead and get started by first just checking in with the breath. So before we do anything else, as usual, we're going to check in and we're going to start by counting our breaths. We are going to do a 1-minute breath check-in. And all I want you to do in that 1 minute of a breath check-in is to simply just count your breaths. And go. And stop. And so what we really want to observe and pay attention to when we are counting those breaths, one is that we're counting on every inhale. So an inhale and an exhale is one full cycle of breath. So every inhale we're counting in, but also checking in with how we are breathing in the moment, right? How we're breathing in any particular moment is going to be a big indicator to what is really going on. So are we breathing from the nose? Are we breathing from the mouth? Are we taking deep inhales and exhales, or does our breath feel shallow? Is our chest expanding? Is it our shoulders that feel like they're expanding? Or are we breathing into the belly? Is it the belly that feels like it's expanding? Does the breath feel expansive anyway as you breathe? Or does it feel a little bit more constricted? Does it feel weighted? Does it feel a little harder to breathe? And sometimes, depending on what we're going through at any given time, that's going to determine how that breath is feeling, okay? So we're going to go ahead and intentionally begin to manipulate that breath now. And so what that means is we are going to, on purpose, consciously slow down the breath, and then we will begin to incorporate our movement. So when you are ready, we're going to go ahead and continue to sit up nice and tall and straight, but I want you to relax the shoulders, right? Sometimes we're tight and we're tense, and those shoulders, they can be really high up toward the ears, or you can really be like carrying and holding weight in here. So I want you to allow yourself to just relax the shoulders, relax the jaw, relax the face. That tension that builds right here when we're like scrunched up like this, I just want you to bring your awareness there, and if you're holding any tension there, allow that to relax and melt. Relax your jaw, unclench your teeth. And we're going to breathe in through our nose, and we're going to breathe out through the nose. And so we're going to start with just an inhale in through the nose, and I want you to try to take that breath all the way down as deep as you can. So that first breath, let's just see how deep it can get. And we're going to exhale through the nose. Next breath, I want you to try to get it deep into your belly. See if that belly can expand. Inhale. Exhale. And again, we're going to breathe in, belly expands. Exhale. And as we begin to ground into our space and into this present moment, on your next exhale, we're going to take the chin and drop it down to the chest. And as you inhale, we'll start a round of head circles. So we're circling the head nice and slow. We're drawing a circle here with the nose. And we want to try to move with the breath. So as best you can, as you inhale, we're taking the head up. And as you exhale, we're bringing the head down. And just paying attention to the sensations that you feel in your neck. Does this feel good? Does it feel like you're stretching through some muscles that need a little attention? Any place that might feel really good. Maybe right here, like you feel a little like, ooh. You can hang out anywhere in these spaces as long as you like. And on your next inhale, we're going to go in the opposite direction. So we'll inhale, and we're going to circle the head in the opposite direction. And to keep in mind that this video for this movement is just a guide. So if you're moving a little slower than me, that's fine. For example, if you need to hang out here because that just feels really tender, or this feels really nice to get a stretch in there, maybe you haven't stretched your neck all day, that's fine. You can stay and you can hang out there for a few moments. And so when you're ready, we're going to inhale, roll the shoulders up toward the ears, roll them back and down. And then we're going to take some shoulder rolls. We're going to isolate, so one shoulder at a time. Right shoulder, left shoulder. And we just want to move through these nice and slow. So really feeling into what's going on, okay? Lifting up, back, and down. Up, back, and down. And then we'll just try to make it kind of fluid, as smooth as you can get it. If you like to play your own music in the background, or you put your playlist on, like this is a good time to allow your shoulders to really like melt into the music. And we'll go the opposite direction, so forward. And on your next exhale, we'll rock back. Inhale forward, chest comes forward, opening the heart. Exhale, rock back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. And on an inhale, as you pull forward, we're going to start to take those side body sways. So using the core to stabilize you and help center your movement. Head is the last thing to come up, and head is the last thing to make it over. And so on an inhale, we're up, and then we exhale that down. Good, and we'll sit it up. And we're gonna start a round of chest circling. So one thing we wanna do here is try to stay with moving the breath. But if you find that you can't quite catch, or your breath runs out before you've finished, continue to keep the breath regulated. And what I mean by that is just continue a slow pace of breath. Sometimes when we start moving, our breath can get hitched and it'll get a little faster. And so we want to attempt to, even though we are moving, keep that breath at a slow and regulated pace. So we'll inhale the chest forward, and we'll take it over to the side, and then we'll exhale as you come around the back. So just try to keep that part in mind, that as you expand and open, you inhale, and as you constrict and close, you exhale. And you can make these small chest circles. You can make little tiny micro chest circles, barely moving the chest. Or Or you can make these really big chest circles today. You can take up space, really rocking back, really leaning to the side, sweeping through the center. So today it's going to be about what feels good for your circles. Or you could do all three like I just did. And then we're going to go back in the opposite direction. So we'll maybe start out really big, rocking in circles. And just observing, paying attention to what this feels like, maybe what it feels like in the hips, what it feels like in the core, what it feels like in the chest. And then maybe we reel them in a little bit, make them a little slower, a little smaller, a little less expansive. And then maybe we slow them all the way down back to those little micro, teeny tiny chest circles where it's barely moving. Good, we're gonna place the right palm to the mat, left arm, inhale up, exhale over. And on an inhale, we're gonna come center, exhale over. Inhale up. And self-love hug. We'll wrap the arms. And we'll slowly release the hold. And so we're going to come back into our leg movements today. So rocking back just a little bit, we're going to extend our feet, okay? We're gonna uncross the legs. I'm gonna meet you on your side. And then if you need to adjust, go ahead and do that, but we're gonna come down onto our forearm. So back on day 4, maybe day 5, we did some sort of like clamshells where we opened the leg and we pulled that leg up and in, right? So we're gonna stick with that today. We're gonna open the leg and we're gonna pull it up. But today we're gonna go ahead and give that leg its extension. So we're gonna slowly extend the leg and then we'll let it down and close. Again, open, pull the knee in first, and then hinging from the knee, extend just as far as you can. So if that looks like this, cool. If that's here, cool. If that's all the way behind your head, that's cool too. And we can invite a little gentle touch, tracing the leg, and then we'll slowly lower down. So we're gonna do that one more time. Close. So we're gonna open the leg, pull the knee in, extend the leg, trace the leg down, and trace the seam of your pants or wherever your fingers go, and then we'll lower the leg straight and close it up. So we're gonna press our body up, and at the same time we're gonna swing our legs forward. So try to get it in one clean motion, but if not, that's fine. I can just meet you on the other side. So we'll push up and swing the legs out. And then we'll sweep those legs around and come onto our other side. And so that you can see me, I'm gonna adjust. And so we're gonna do the same thing here on this side. So we're gonna open that leg, lift, and then extend from the knee. Point the toes, so no flat feet, no flexed feet. We are pointing through the toes. And then we'll lower down and close. And I want you to observe and take notice here if you find that one side is more flexy than the other, or that one leg goes up a little higher than the other. These are small little differences and subtleties within our body that we start paying attention to when we start getting into how we move. So again, we're gonna open the leg, bring the knee up, and extend. This time we can trace the lines or the inseam of your pant and lower down. And last time we're going to open, pull that knee in, lift. And you might be crackling like me, knees popping, ankles popping. Beautiful. Bring that hand down and we'll slowly lower the leg and close it up. So once again, using that hand to help press you up, we're going to swing those legs back around in front of us. So we're going to press up and swing the legs out in front. And so the pressing up and the swinging the legs is a part of the transitional movements that we talked about before. How we transition is also an important part of sensual movement when it comes to creating choreography and creating dance, because what we're essentially doing is stringing together these stretches and making them really fluid so that they become a dance. So swing those legs all the way around again so that we're back in our normal everyday position. And when you're ready, we're going to straighten up the back. Inhale, take the arms up. Scoop the belly and lay down. And you can bring your feet all the way extended if you'd like. We're going to take our final 3 breaths. As always, you can bring the hands to the belly. You can bring the hands flat out, or you can bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. We're going to breathe in through the nose. We're going to breathe out through the mouth today. 3 deep breaths. We'll breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. And we'll allow your breath to return to its normal rhythm. As always, you are welcome to stay here and lay here as long as you like. But for the sake of closing out our video, we're going to call it. So you can slowly bring the legs up. You can take that inside arm, raise it up above your head, and let the legs fall to the side. And using your palm, you can press the body up. Little assist. And just take a minute to be and to feel and to just be in the present moment. Thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you guys tomorrow for day 15 of Regulate. Bye.